Morning, it's right now around 1:15 in the morning, first day of Hanukkah. Hopefully, Kislev, the day of my father's yard site. Basically, they found him on Chaf Zion, but he was basically killed by a sonogram by Shimshi Unger, and he did a sonogram on him while he was sleeping in the office in Brooklyn. And as they were torturing me and him at the same time, I was being tortured in 6 Capitol Lane at that time. And he was being tortured in an office in Brooklyn. And as they killed him, the next morning I was in shul, it was Shabbos morning, or whatever, Friday morning, whatever it was. And I was saying hallow. And there were people saying, why didn't you tell him that his father passed away already? You guys know. You shouldn't be so mean to him. You should find him. So they let him sit there till Monday morning, till we found him on Chaf Zion. I guess it was Shabbos morning, was Chaf. So he passed away on Chaf Kislev, first day of Hanukkah. And he gave me a message by Leah Mason Luika and Hollow. I saw his figure telling me that he's not around anymore. We called him after Shabbos. We didn't find out anything, and I already knew Monday morning that he passed away when my brother called me saying we have a family meeting, we have to go. So I said, I know exactly what it's about. And he also got sort of a message. We all got a message. Basically, he passed away. Anyways, he's been a victim by the Ungers since they came here from after World War II. The Ungers were descendants of Hitler and the Gestapos. They came after World War II. And there were a family of Rishonim who entered through the Judaism, through the Novinska Rebbe, who was Makar them, let them become Gerim or whatever, become Yidden again, join Klal Yisrael again. So anyways, I'm going to give the Shiur on Chaim, the family lesson today, in the Shmosai, Chav Hey Kislev. Developing the quality of Shmir Salashin hinges on the fulfillment of love your fellow as yourself. By the way, I had a very interesting incident. I finally got a chance to put in my Talmud film today, which I have a very hard time almost every day putting on my Talmud film because of my stomach aches. That the Machshefes ran into me in Lakewood with all their hypnotizing me in the middle of my sleep every single night for the past 22 years. The Tsars to give me this. They still hypnotize me every now and then. I get hypnotized in my sleep and I have terrible nights. That's what Lakewood's full basically is nus. And so what happens was I have these psychology papers I put out in my car, and someone called a Shumran saying that I have papers, giving a message in my car. Papers. They make a big phone call about papers in the car. Wow. What a great Shumran. They must be some heroes. That they sound like they need a psychiatrist for that. If they make a big deal about papers in their car. Well, anyways, they're retarded anyways, the Shumran in Lakewood, because they're Mushka Zachaniks and Boyles Nus anyways, the Shumran in Lakewood. They're terrible people. Pretty much the Shumran in almost every town is pretty much messed up, especially in Monroe, New York as well. I put up with them as well. They have my vehicles impounded. Yeah. Sharm happens to be these days the Sharm. Listen, my follow the Sharm was for the first 10 Sharm in Walesburg back in the 1950s when they needed the chapsons to save the ladies from the sheitos pulled off by the Schwarzes. And my follow was one of those, all of a Sharm, that would take the Schwarzes and give them a lesson. A 6'5" Schwarz to teach them a lesson. My father was one of those. One of those Giborim. Brother Batzal takes after him a lot, but not as strong as my father was, all of a sudden. Anyways, so basically, we know what type of shaman we have these days. Are really cuckoo heads. Silence of faith. Yehuda Berkey, owner of Berkey Mortgage Bankers, enters his office the morning to find a note on his desk. Dear Mr. Berkey, we replied, did not appreciate having to work overtime right before Sukkot. We all have Sukkot to build, and Yom Tov needs to purchase and long work hours made our preparations very difficult. Please be more considerate in the future. Sincerely, a disgruntled employee. Mr. Berkey, who is known to be short-tempered, is not too pleased with the note. He summons Yisrael, a loyal, quiet, respectful worker, shows him the note, and says, I know you didn't write it, this note, but I have a hunch that you know who wrote it. Tell me who it is. Yisrael knows that Heshi Greenberg is the culprit. He also knows that to reveal his name would be to speak Rechilas. On the other hand, his boss is demanding to know the writer's identity. What should he do? Chaim leaves no room for doubt. Yisrael is not permitted to reveal the writer's name. Even if he knows that his boss will react by screaming and insulting him, he may not reveal this information. The Chaim quotes our sage's famous teaching. Now this is a real lesson for Jay's bus service, for each time and every time they gave me over to the Lake of Scuba to the police department. Those who suffer insult, but do not insult in response, who hear their disgrace, but do not reply, who perform God's will out of love, and are happy, even in suffering of them. It is written, and those who love him, Hashem, shall be like the sun going forth in its might. To bear insult for the sake of Hashem and his Torah is a sign of true greatness. Yisrael can rest assured that the long-term gain of remaining silent will far outweigh whatever momentary discomfort he may suffer from his boss' insult. What is Berkey's response? By threatening to fire Yisrael. Even in this case, Yisrael must remain silent. A Jew must be prepared to give up all his money and possessions rather than transgress a single leisaser, a negative commandment. You hear Jay's bus service? You should never give me over to the police department. And Al Pi Halacha, you were wrong. And Al Pi Halacha, the Lake of Scoop was wrong for b'masering me. There are situations where it would be permissible for Yisrael to reveal the writer identity. For example, if in addition to leaving a note, Heshi's prey painted his boss's office with graffiti, Yisrael would be allowed to reveal Heshi's identity, provided that to consider conditions for speaking Rechilas, Toyelas, for a constructive purpose are met. These will be discussed in forthcoming segments. Now, when I took the sidewalk that time, did I do any damage to anybody? No. Okay. I didn't put any graffiti in the boss's office. Remaining silent when the result might be losing one's job or being embarrassed is a difficult test. It is at such times that we must bear in mind we never lose from doing what is right. The Torah demands that we not speak rechilas, then we should be proud to uphold the halacha and not be intimidated by threats, insults, or even the possibility of being fired. And that's why Negative Bus Service should have been the one who outstand, who never gave me over to the police whenever anything happened. People threatened to harass them, to have me have problems, and they stood his backbone. Went up here, luckily he never gave over to his drivers. Even though he was put out of business, but he did up here, luckily. He was a tzaddik, Aaron Rottenberg. In a nutshell, one may not speak rechilas, even under the threat of being embarrassed or fired. The Eilu Nishmas Rabbi Yosef ben Eliyahu Zalman, my dear father, just learned halacha, Chayim family lesson a day, his Heilige Neshama.